Welcome back to Take Care Time, the tales and exhales of caregivers. I'm your host, Beverly Nance, and today we embark on a new story, a tale of independence, aging, and the difficult decisions that families face as their loved ones grow older. This is The Keys, and episode 1 begins with a heart-pounding moment that brings a family's unspoken fears into the glaring light. It's a sunny spring day in Huntsville, Alabama. The day begins with a soft, golden glow as the sun peeks over the rolling hills, casting long shadows and bathing the city in warm light. The air is fresh and slightly crisp, carrying the sweet scent of blooming azaleas and dogwoods, which are in full splendor, dotting the landscape with vibrant pinks, whites, and purples. The streets and the back roads of Huntsville come alive slowly, birds chirping in newly leafed trees, and there's a gentle rustle as a mild breeze stirs the fresh leaves and the last of the cherry blossoms. Residents start their day with a leisurely pace, some jogging or walking their dogs along the scenic pathways of Big Spring Park, where the pond mirrors the clear blue sky and the lush greenery surrounding it. As the city awakens, the downtown area begins to buzz with activity. Cafes set out tables, offering a perfect spot for enjoying a morning coffee under the shade of umbrellas as the day warms up. The atmosphere is relaxed, yet vibrant, reflecting Huntsville's blend of Southern charm and the dynamic spirit of the city, proud of its rich history and its role in aerospace exploration. Just 20 minutes from the sleepy heart of downtown Huntsville, locally known as the Country for its serene and expansive landscapes, Clarence Clemons sets out for a routine task that no one thinks twice about. It's a simple trip to the grocery store, a mundane errand that countless others in the city are also undertaking on this bright spring morning. The old truck rolls slowly out of the gravel driveway, the tires crunching beneath him as he steers onto the open road. The cab smells faintly of leather and a mixture of gasoline and age, a comforting aroma for Clarence, a man whose truck has been his companion for years, a symbol of his independence and self-reliance. The road from his home winds through stretches of lush greenery, where wildflowers are beginning to bloom, painting the roadside in strokes of yellow, blue, and red. The beauty of the landscape is lost on Clarence, whose focus is consumed by the task of navigating the road, a task that has become increasingly challenging. As he drives, the dashboard's dials and gauges catch the sunlight, flickering momentarily as they monitor the truck's vital signs. But there's another monitor, not so visibly measured, the gradual, yet undeniable decline of Clarence's ability to drive safely. Each turn of the wheel, each press of the pedal becomes a testament to his diminishing faculties, a harsh reminder of the aging process that respects no one's pride or past capabilities. The journey to the grocery store, seemingly inconsequential to the casual observer, is laden with implications for Clarence. It underscores a crucial intersection in his life and in the lives of his family members, who watch with mixed emotions of concern and denial. The drive, which once brought him peace, now stirs something else, an unspoken fear that he tries to ignore. Every bump in the road, every unexpected turn, feels a little sharper now, a little less predictable. But today, he pushes through, determined to make it to the store, just like always. Back at Clarence's home on Robbins Road, his wife Betty, daughter Ellen, and his son Rick are increasingly aware of his driving difficulties. Their reactions are a mixture of concern, frustration, and reluctance to confront the issue directly. Each family member has a different perspective, shaped by their relationship with Clarence and their own experiences. Ellen is the most concerned. She has noticed her father's growing difficulties with driving, the minor accidents, the near misses, and his increasing nervousness behind the wheel. While she feels an urgent need to address the situation for his safety and the safety of others, she struggles with how to approach the subject without hurting his feelings or damaging their relationship. I've seen Dad struggle, and it scares me. But how do you tell the man who taught you how to drive that he can't do it anymore? It feels like I'd be taking away a part of his independence. Rick, who lives on the other side of town, only sees Clarence occasionally. His perspective is more detached, and he relies on updates from Ellen. He is concerned but feels conflicted because he isn't there to see the day-to-day issues. He wonders if perhaps Ellen is overreacting a bit, not fully understanding the emotional impact of such a decision. Are you sure it's that bad? Dad's always been a good driver. Maybe he just needs to avoid driving at night or taking longer trips. Betty, Clarence's wife, sees Clarence's decline every day, but is in denial about the implications. She fears that discussing the driving issue might lead to broader discussions about Clarence's ability to live independently. Betty flip-flops between defending Clarence's need to drive and her anxiety every time he leaves the house. Clarence loves his truck, and driving to the store is just one of the few joys he has left. But what if one day he doesn't come home safe? As Clarence Clemons steers his Ford truck down the road to Huntsville, what begins as a routine trip to the grocery store soon veers into the unexpected. With each turn of the wheel, Clarence's intentions blur, like the landscape whizzing past his window. Clarence was supposed to stop at the local grocery store on Winchester Road, a route he has driven countless times. But today, he drives right past it, oblivious to the store's welcoming sign flickering in his peripheral vision. As he approaches the intersection, the traffic light changes from yellow to red. It's a signal he's observed faithfully for decades. Yet today, he accelerates, blowing right through without a moment's hesitation. Unscathed but unaware, Clarence grip tightens on the steering wheel. The familiar roads of his hometown now feel strangely alien. Instead of slowing down or turning around, he continues, driven by a compulsion he doesn't understand. The city limits begin to fade behind him as he merges onto the highway, the truck eating up miles under a sky that seems as unclear as his mind. As Clarence Clemons' truck passed the red light, passing the store and heading onto the highway, his journey did not go unnoticed. Among the other drivers on the road that day is Tammy Thompson. Tammy was a local teacher on her way to school. She observed Clarence's erratic driving with growing alarm. Tammy watched as Clarence's truck sped up, cutting across lanes with no apparent regard for her safety or any other driver's safety. Her concern escalates quickly. This is more than just careless driving. It's potentially dangerous. Tammy gets out her phone. 911, what's your emergency? Hello, this is 911. How can I help you? Hi, I just saw a truck run a red light and then speed onto the highway. The driver seems really confused, and it didn't look safe at all. I'm worried he might cause an accident. Can you provide the vehicle's description and direction? Yes, it's a blue Ford truck. It's an older model. It's headed north on Highway 72. The license plate started with HV4. Thank you, ma'am. We'll dispatch a unit and check on the vehicle. Can I have your name and contact in case we need more information? Of course. It's Tammy Thompson. I'm just glad to help. I hope he's okay. With her call, Tammy sets in motion a series of events that ripple outward. The local police, now alerted, begin to coordinate a response aimed at safely intercepting Clarence before his confusion leads to catastrophe. As officers mobilize, Clarence remains oblivious to the concern he sparked. To him, the road ahead is just a blur of motion, his sense of direction lost in a fog of confusion. Now, unwittingly, at the center of a high-stakes drama unfolding at breakneck speed on Highway 72. Heading towards Tennessee, Clarence is not just distancing himself from home, but also from the safety his family so desperately wishes for him. Behind him, a procession of police cars with flashing lights and sirens blare, a constant contrast to the peaceful, sunny day. The officers are trained for moments like this, to safely de-escalate potentially dangerous situations involving confused and disoriented drivers like Clarence. Unit 6 in pursuit of the blue Ford truck, now heading north on Highway 72. We need to approach with caution. He might be disoriented. Copy that, Unit 6. Proceed with caution. Attempt to guide the vehicle safely off the road. The chase is not marked by high speeds or reckless maneuvers by the police. Rather, it's a measured attempt to protect Clarence and other road users. The officers carefully coordinate their efforts, using their training to anticipate Clarence's movements and create a buffer zone around him, minimizing risks wherever possible. As Clarence continues, unaware of the full extent of his actions, their goals shift from a simple traffic stop to a rescue operation, reflecting the dual responsibility to enforce the law and protect life. Miles away from where the day started, Clarence finally begins to slow down, the reality of his surroundings slowly permeating his confused state. The police see their chance and carefully guide him to the roadside. Clarence stops at the side of the road, and the police officers run his license plate. "Mr. Clemons, I'm Officer Bates. You're safe now, but we need to talk about what happened." On the shoulder of Highway 72, with the Tennessee landscape stretching out in front of them, the chase comes to a quiet end. The police handle Clarence with compassion, understanding the fragility of his state. They ensure he is comfortable and secure before contacting his family with the assurance that he is safe for now. Using the information from Clarence's license plate, the police dispatch an officer to his residence. The goal is to connect with his family to inform them of the incident and to discuss crucial next steps. It's a connection that promises to bridge the gap between immediate crisis management and long-term care solutions. "Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Officer Lewis with the Huntsville Police Department. May I come in for a moment? I have some information about your husband." "Oh, yes, please come in. Is Clarence okay? He went to the grocery store. He should have been back by now." Inside the house, Officer Lewis is met by Betty and also joined by Clarence's daughter, Ellen. "First of all, I want to assure you that your husband's safe. He was a bit confused and ended up driving quite far from home, but we've got him, calm and resting in his truck right now. We managed to stop him right before he crossed into Tennessee." "Thank you, officer. We've been worried about his driving, but didn't know how to bring it up without upsetting him. What happens now? Is there something we can do to prevent something like this from happening again? We don't want to take away his independence, but we know something needs to change." Officer Lewis, experienced in dealing with similar situations, outlines a few options, from medical evaluations that could assess Clarence's fitness to drive to local programs that offer transportation for seniors. He emphasizes the importance of a family discussion about these options, facilitating a plan that supports Clarence's autonomy while ensuring his safety. It might be helpful to arrange a family meeting with a social worker or a geriatric care manager. They can offer guidance and help mediate the conversation about driving and independence. That sounds like a good idea. It's past time. We just want to do what's best for Clarence. As Officer Lewis leaves, promising to check in later, Clarence's family gathers around the kitchen table, united by a common purpose. Today's scare has crystallized a truth they've all been avoiding, but now feel ready to address. It's not just about the keys to the truck. It's about navigating the delicate keys of aging, love, and respect. Next time on The Keys, join us as we explore how Clarence and his family tackle these tough conversations, finding pathways to adapt and support each other through the challenges of aging. I'm Beverly Nance, reminding you that sometimes the hardest conversations are the most necessary. Introducing the Take Care Time Respite Box, designed with caregivers in mind. Each box is filled with items selected to foster relaxation and provide a well-deserved break. Imagine unwrapping a cozy throw, a custom blend of calming tea, a soothing scented candle that transforms your space into a sanctuary. But it's not just about the items, it's about what they represent. A reminder that taking care of yourself is just as important as the care you give to others. It's about giving yourself permission to pause, to breathe, and to collect your strength. This season, allow Take Your Time Respite Box to be a part of your self-care routine. Visit takecaretime.com to subscribe. Your respite awaits. Do you have an interesting caregiver story that you would like to have told? Please email us at podcast@takecaretime.com. We would love to hear from you. Please note that this episode features reenactments and dramatized details. While in most cases, the exact verbatim dialogue may not be known, all dramatizations are grounded in research. To respect the privacy and confidentiality of individuals involved, names and some identifying details have been changed. Until next week, take care.